Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Trig, and today I'm finna talk about how I got kicked out of the state of Florida. Alright, so basically what happened was it's about 2020, around like July, or no, it's like the end of June, and I'm homeless at the time. I'm sleeping outside of a Quick Trip, and I get a text message from like somebody I don't know for real, but I know of him, and he pulls up and he's like, "Yo, you trying to go to Florida?" I was like, shit, sure. I don't got nothing else going on. So I hop in the car. Mind you, we're in Missouri. So I go ahead, hop in the car. We start driving to Florida. And I see two girls in the backseat. I know them super well. We used to live in a homeless shelter together. We're gonna call them Marquisiana and Jaden. Alright. And so we're heading to Florida, we're having a good time on the way. And then we finally get out to Florida, and we just like be kicking it. Like we went to the beach we went to the beach one day. It was cool. We were chilling, we drank a little bit while we were out there, smoked a little weed. We were having fun. Um, and then we ended up meeting up with one of the dude's friends out there, and we went to this place in Florida. I think it's called Some Coast, and there's this big old fucking sand pit. And mind you, we're in a little fucking fuck, I don't remember the make of the car, but it was a front wheel drive car, right? And we go out into the sand pit, and apparently we're gonna start like kind of like mudding, except it's in sand, right? As soon as we get out there, we get automatically stuck, and we're just trying to find somebody who will pull us out, but no one wants to do it because there's nothing to hook onto except because it's a unibody, right? And we just end up getting stuck right there. Well, then Jaden and Marquisiana start flipping out. They're like, man, I don't know if I can be here right now. Like, I need to go back, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, dude was like, well, if y'all want to go, y'all can go. And I was like, man, I can't leave them behind. So if they finna dip, I gotta go make sure they're straight, right? So I go ahead and I go with them, and we start walking, and we ended up on the side of the road. Closest gas station is a minute away, and we are not gonna be able to walk that. Trying to get a hold of somebody on the road, trying to get them to give us a ride or something. Nobody's wanting it. No one's having it. And so then eventually this trucker pulls up and gives us a ride. Get to the gas station, and we're at the gas station, and people at the gas station are like, "Hey, y'all waiting on a ride for somebody?" And as soon as I was about to talk, then Marquisiana was like, "No, actually, we kind of don't have a place to go." And I was like, "Come on, bro." I was like, "Fuck. We cannot be doing that. We can't tell them that." And then the gas station chick, she was like, "Well, y'all need to go somewhere." And I was like, "Okay." And mind you, we have no clue where the fuck we're at. We're from Missouri and shit. And so we just walk around the building. Like, that's all we could do is walk around the building. And then eventually the police show up. I guess she called the police on us for loitering. And they pull up. They're like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?" We're like, basically, here's the rundown. Like, we ain't from here. We're from Missouri. We came out here with a friend, and now we're kind of stuck. And they're like, "Okay, well, what can you do? Like, is there anything that you know what to do? Like, how old are you guys?" And mind you, at the time, I was 17, Jaden was 16, and Marquisiana was also 17. And we were just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Like, we're stuck, you know? And they're like, okay. And they end up calling DFS, right? And mind you, I'm not in the child protective, or not child protective service. I'm not in the, like, children's division. Like, I'm not by the state. I'm on my own. But Jaden and Marquisiana are. And so DFS comes out and starts asking hella questions. And then the DFS chick brings us to her office. And she's like, so here's what's going to go down, blah, blah, blah. And then we're sitting in her office, and sounds like Jaden and Marquisiana finna go home easy as hell. but me apparently it's an issue. And so then, knowing me, I start causing a scene, being a fucking knucklehead and shit, just being a dumbass. And then eventually, the lady's like, you know what, calm down, okay? I'm like, alright, whatever, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And so then, uh, we end up, she takes me to a homeless shelter, takes the other two to, foster home. And I'm sitting in this homeless shelter, I'm kicking it, passing the fuck out whenever I want. They had ice cream sundaes. Like, let me tell you, the homeless funding in Florida is so much better than Missouri. Like, that fucking homeless shelter was bougie as hell. Like, you could have told me it was a hotel room and I would have believed you. And so I was sitting there for a while, doing all the activities. I was actually having a pretty good time. And then I had found out that I was finally able to go home. DFS paid for me for a plane to go home. And I was like, what? Okay, sick. So I ended up getting in the car with the DFS lady. She came and picked me up. And she's like, yeah, so we just do not want you out here at all. So DFS in Missouri decided to pay for you to come home since we don't want you here. I was like, for real? She was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. Go get in the plane, and I fly home. Pretty cool plane ride. Just slept most of it for real. Get off the plane, hop in the car, and then go back to living on the street. I mean, it was pretty chill. It was a cool little getaway. Like, had some fun. Got to swim in the ocean. That was pretty cool. I mean, and overall, it was a pretty cool trip. Kind of sucked getting stuck out there, but I mean, eventually I made it back, so no worries. And that's the story on how I got kicked out of Florida. Y'all have a good one. See y'all next video.